You alluded to the McDonald's thing. I want to ask you just a couple other stories.
Yeah.
Obviously the John Kelly story is a big one. Him
Mhm.
praising Adolf Hitler, and I do believe he's a fascist as well. And in fact, Kamala Harris called him a fascist on CNN on the town hall yesterday.
Yeah.
He's talking about Arnold Palmer's genitalia. I
Mhm.
mean, every day it's something new with this guy.
Right.
What do you make of his behavior? And does he seem to be getting worse? His mind
Yeah.
deteriorating since when you worked for him?
Yeah. No, so he's gotten worse. He's losing some of his inhibition, which he could be sundowning, which is a dementia diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, but I don't like the behavior. If he was in my family, I would try to get him some immediate help. I would try to get him off the podium, and so, but these people want power. These people, they want to bust or hurt the system for some reason. And so, okay, so they're going to stick with him. Why, if he's a racist, a fascist, and has some dementia, why are 70 or 80 million people voting for him? Okay, and the answer lies in lots of lies, Brian. Okay, so the answer lies in lies. He's lying about the immigrants. Most of these people that come to the country are law-abiding. He's saying they're committing crimes. He's saying that they're eating dogs and cats. They're not eating dogs and cats. He's trying to dehumanize them. He's doing what a fascist does. I have a scapegoat over here. All your problems are related to this scapegoat over here. Vote for me. I'm going to provide you very easy panaceas, very easy solutions to your problems. And oh, by the way, people that I don't like, I'm going to use the military to go after them to suppress whatever their potential adversarial comments are related to me.
Right.
That is the depth. That's right out of a textbook.
But Mooch, do you agree with me? And I mean this seriously. If Donald Trump tonight in Las Vegas, he's holding a rally tonight, went on stage in a Klan outfit and called Kamala Harris the N-word, I still believe, not all, but most of the people would still support him. And I mean that. Do you agree with that?
That would trigger a lot of African-American men to vote for her. Okay. And so when I'm looking at the data, and this is what I said over the weekend in Pennsylvania, a lot of African-American men feel that she was a prosecutor. The law has been turned against them. They believe it's been turned against them unfairly. Okay. And they're not going to necessarily vote for Trump because they're smart people. They know he's a full-on racist. But they're like, I'm focused on this local race. I'm focused on this. I'm focused on that. But my message to those people is, hey, you've got two choices. Okay, this is my message to Kelly, my message to Esper. I wish George W. Bush would speak out.
Right.
You've got two choices, okay? Even my friend Mitt Romney not voting for either of these people. Well, why are you doing that, Mitt? Well, I want to have some say in the forward Republican Party. Well, it's not the time to do that, Mitt. The time right now is to protect the democracy and be a patriot first, a partisan second.
So you've had conversations with Mitt Romney about this?
Okay, so I don't want to go into that on the air because it's not fair to I'm not Ryan Lizzo, who did a number on me by talking.
Right, I understand.
Something I thought was off the record. But let me just say this. I have had those conversations with many influential Republicans. I'll say it very broadly. Someone I can talk more specifically.
Okay, so let me ask it this way, Mooch. Understood, but Mooch, let me ask it this way. Broadly, in general terms, you've spoken to staunch Republicans who are not voting for either candidate. When you bring up the fact, and you're absolutely right, it's one choice or the other, and you make your argument to them, do you change any of their minds? What do they say in general?
No, there's no question. Esper is now voting for her. He said he wasn't in the beginning. He's now saying that he is. Kelly, Mattis, these guys have all said now, okay, it is a democracy issue now. The democracy's at stake. He's incredibly dangerous. He's acting very unstable. The Wall Streeters, I don't really get it. They'll have to have a reckoning with their conscience at some point. They'll say, why am I supporting this? What was it? I mean, let me tell you something. I got stained by supporting him in 2016. But in fairness, we did not have him as a president. We didn't have 4 years of what he was going to do as president. And then we didn't have 4 years in the post-presidency where he denied the electoral success of his opponent. And he threatened the democracy on January 6, 21. Right. So we have 8 years now of data on this human being. We know this is a very dangerous person to put back into office. We also know he wants to serve our adversaries. He wants to break up NATO. He wants to have the Ukraine partitioned, which means other former republics could probably go back into the Soviet Union. Not good for peace, not good for prosperity. He's the least American presidential candidate, Brian, in our lifetimes in terms of the way he thinks. He wants to divide us. He wants to shut down immigration. Mm-hmm. He disavows the Abraham Lincoln principle that this is the last best hope for mankind, womankind. He doesn't have a thought in his head about how we're all going to get along. He wants to divide us. He wants to pit us against each other.
Yeah.
And he's made a decision. If whites can't run the country via a democracy, let's bust the democracy.
Mooch, can you explain to the listeners, if in fact Donald Trump does win, and we both don't want that to happen, but if he does win, which is a strong possibility it could happen, what will his administration look like? If people thought his administration was bad in 2016, what will a Donald Trump administration look like if he wins in November?
Look, he'll bring in some, he's a name dropper, so there will be some unexpected people that will be brought in, but there'll be a sleeve of Bannonites and a sleeve of Heritage Foundation people that will wreak havoc on the system. He'll try to flood the zone with more conservative judges that are cronies to him. He'll try to flood the zone with the expansionary immunity powers. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he'll flex. He said publicly that he wants to move the FBI into the White House, meaning it no longer reports to the Department of Justice with all the protocols and checks and balances and safety procedures to protect Americans. It's going to go right into his office. He'll kick out the FBI director, put in a MAGA crony, and now he's got a little bit of a Gestapo going for himself. He wants to go after his adversaries. He will pick somebody at the FCC that will start fining media companies that are against him. Okay, it'll be a slow creep, Brian. It's not going to be boom, we're in 1933. Right. He's going to boil the frog. That's what he's going to do. He's going to incrementally move things, and then he's going to say, if he's still not completely demented, he'll say, hey, I didn't really lose the 2020 election. I deserve to serve during that period of time, a result of which I am going to serve again in 2028, and here's how I'm going to do it. And they're going to move with him. They're going to move the rules with him. Yeah. Remember this about the immunity situation. If Richard Nixon and his minions inside the White House did the exact same thing that they did in 1972, 3, and 4, they did the exact same thing under the current immunity decision from the Supreme Court, no problem. Right. There's not even a discussion, and there's no resignation. He broke into the thing. He stole secrets from the Democratic Party. He covered it up. Obstruction of justice, no problem. It's inside the ambit of the office of the presidency. He takes cover under that immunity decision. So Trump and his people will be working on that day and night. Mr. Trump, Mr. President, what else can we do under the aegis of immunity to make our movement stronger? This orthodoxy that no real American, when people really understand the orthodoxy, they don't like it. You want to deport people? 2/3 of Americans raise their hands and say, yes, I want to deport people. Okay. Do you want Handmaid's Tale armored vehicles in your neighborhood, Elian Gonzalez style, with SWAT guns, machine guns? Oh, no, I don't want that. Okay. Once they take them out of your house, you want them concentrated in camps while we're trying to figure out how to deport them? Oh, no, I don't want that. Well, how do you think it's going to go down?
Exactly. That's a really good point. No, they don't think it through. You're absolutely right. That's what this country would look like if they implement some of the policies, especially when it comes to illegal immigration, what Trump wants to implement. So, Mooch, you've never been one to shy away from predictions. You've never been one to tell us how you feel.
She's going to win.
12 days out. Talk to me.
It's going to be like this close. You know, if you invite George Conway on, he thinks she's going to win easily. I don't see that in the data, so I'm not going to come on your show and be bravado. She's going to win. And the reason why she's going to win, there's more of us than them. There's more people that want a less racially divided America, that want progress for everybody. There's more people that recognize that the economy's doing well. Let's not blow the economy up. My Wall Street friends, I'm like, dudes, he wants to take the Fed independence away, and he wants to make it dependent on him. Any country that's done that has blown their currency and blown their liquid capital markets. Oh, no, he's not going to do that. So you guys are voting for somebody who's promising to do things that you don't want to have happen. And you're making the statement, well, he's just saying that. But Brian, he said things, and if I was on your show in 2016, he's not going to do that. And then he ended up doing it, Brian. He ended up doing it.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I don't know what else to say to people. Okay, we're out there, 40 of us. Right. Kelly is at the tip of the spear now. I don't know what else we could say to people. Hey, Brian, I'm in the pharmaceutical company. They're poisoning. They're putting poison in the pill. Don't give it to your family member. There's 40 of us that saw the pill get made. Don't give it to your family member, Brian. Oh, no. You know, there's sugar in the pill. I'm going to take the pill. Okay.
Right. These people, there's certain people that you just can't reach, but you're on the ground. I love what you're doing, Mooch. And if Kamala Harris does win, it's going to be for a lot of reasons, but partly because of people like you that have the courage to go on the other side. And even though you don't agree with all of her policies, you're voting for democracy. And there's a lot of other Republicans just like you that I interview every single day on this show.
She's going to win, Brian.
I hope so, Mooch. I really do.
Thank you for having me on, bro. You're going to have me on after the election. I may be in an undisclosed location if I'm wrong, though. So I'll come in. My voice will be garbled and stuff. You know what I mean?
I heard a rumor you might be in Vegas for Halloween. I don't know if that's true. But Mooch, I appreciate you coming on as always, man. You're always one of my favorite guests. And let's hope we get the W. And I appreciate the hard work you're doing. Keep it up, my friend. Thank you.
God bless.
God bless you too.